Bantucentric is recommended for listeners over the age of 16 as it may contain foul language and/or mature subject matter. This podcast is brought to you by Gifted Sounds Network and ImagineOnly Productions.
And as always, stay woke.
And stay Bantu.
And as always, 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 stay woke.
And stay Bantu. And stay Bantu.
Welcome to Bantucentric. My name is Buck Rivers, and with me, as always, is my co-host Cheyenne Finch.
We're a couple of Bantus discussing movies, music, relationships, and pretty much everything else.
Yes, and as always, pretty much everything else also includes the Bantu Initiative. If your people are from the continent of Africa, you are Bantu, and so we would like to kind of spread that around the country and make that into a household known term. So if you are interested, please go to bantucentric.com/initiative for more information.
Yes.
And today, we have a wonderful guest.
Hello.
Friend of the show, regular around these parts, Khumbula. Welcome back to Bantucentric.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good. Live. You guys?
I'm fine, I guess. It's real cold today.
You know,
How was-
I got my coat because clearly I can't take it.
Yeah. It's what? This is like the first real snowing day of the year. How was the walk
the
over?
one that sticks. It's dangerous out
Yeah.
there.
Did you walk all the way?
Yeah, there's gushing. Not all the way, but comes.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the winds are gushing. It's really strong out there.
Okay.
I didn't leave Africa to come to this.
So, gonna let you. You're just not gonna do your job, huh? Hey, folks.
I don't do jobs that were sporadically thrown at
We're
me
leaving this in.
30
Cheyenne
seconds
Finch
before.
has mutinied against the podcast. And so she's not going to interview our wonderful guest, disrespecting this man in her own home. Like, ooh.
Wow.
But that's okay.
I was given 30-second notice.
We'll just sit here quietly for 20 minutes until the next segment.
It'll become a vlog. Just look at each other.
Yeah.
Like three black people looking at each other.
So since I'll do it. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, we're not gonna stare for 20 minutes?
you.
I was prepared for that.
I'll save her. What do you do? We have a new set of audience members, you know. There aren't a whole lot of people that listen to podcasts and watch them on YouTube. It's usually one or the other. And so we've got a new group, so people haven't heard your voice. They couldn't really hear your voice the first time because we fucked up the audio. So the first time, that was terrible. The time when I was visiting here, when I met you, that was terrible audio. Everybody hated that.
Oh no.
Second time was good audio, and we heard your voice. It was great. You gave us some great stories during V-Week. So it's been maybe 4 months. How you been?
I've been alive, man. I've been alive. For those who have seen me for the first time, I'm a private chef. I'm based here in Harlem. I'm a liver of life, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
That's about it. I'm a private chef. I do like private catering, meal preps. I'm happy to come and cook for you, kind of situation.
Okay. Any interesting events coming up or anything that you're doing, you know?
I will be doing South by Southwest in March, so I'm
Okay.
looking forward to that.
Okay. What all does that entail?
South by Southwest is like an art show, a week long of activities in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
You're like
there'll be like an African concert aspect to the festivities, and I'll be doing food there.
Okay, that's cool.
It's like a festival.
Okay, that's cool. And one question that I had, damn it, I don't know how to ask this question. Because we're doing this is the Valentine's Day episode.
Yes.
But I was very,
Yes.
I was given
Personal
some
questions.
cold shoulders. when we talked yesterday.
So are you seeing anyone?
Oh yeah, I see you. I see that.
Such a man answer. It's just like, do you love me? I have love for you.
Yeah. I love everybody. The world is full of love.
I got love for you, girl.
What are you doing anything? Have you done anything? Did you do?
Will you do?
It's not a secret that we record these in advance. Valentine's Day has not happened. When you guys are watching this, Valentine's Day has already occurred.
This isn't live.
So, are you gonna do something? Do you think we can pretty much say that on the 17th, after Valentine's Day, that you will have actually accomplished the thing that you said you were gonna do?
This is a deep question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have Valentine's Day plans?
Yes.
Do I have Valentine's Day plans? No, at the current moment, no.
Okay.
No.
Are you open to Valentine's Day plans? 'Cause Shy was asking, you know. She's looking to cheat.
It's not.
No, that's not.
You do understand
That's
that my
not my
boyfriend
cup
will
of
kill
tea.
me, right?
That's good. That's good.
No, you need to understand. He will kill me.
Because I joked on a podcast. Nobody's cheating, guys.
Everybody's going down in this room.
Fam.
I'm trying to make this a fun, interesting thing.
That results in everybody's death.
Everybody. You gotta
This
give
is
me
the last
something,
episode of
Guys. You
Bantucentric.
gotta give me something, guys. Valentine's Day is occurring. Have you? What kind of stuff have you done in the past? Like, has it been? Is it a holiday that you enjoy? You know what? What do you think?
So like, it's tough because for myself, I don't really believe in Valentine's Day. I'm like one of those people who say, oh, like, if I'm gonna love you, I should love you every day and not just love you because some man has put a date on this day and said you must buy your woman flowers on this day. Like, no, if I want to buy
must.
You get to do that day and other days.
Yes, and every day.
No, you do it any day, you should do it because you feel like doing it, not because it's like a day of giving flowers.
Yeah, I
like,
feel you.
No. But society and the pressure from outside, maybe a significant other would like to get flowers the same day everybody else is getting flowers. And then you're like, okay.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I feel like people shouldn't be obligated to doing stuff. Do it because you want to do it.
Yeah, I feel that. I think that I know definitely I need to come up with some stuff to do. It's been a few Valentine's Days since, I did anything, so it's like...
Is it something you want to do, or do you feel like you're obligated?
No, he absolutely despises.
I fucking hate Valentine's Day. Hey, if you're listening, I hate it. I want to do shit for you. But she won't know until after I've already done the shit.
Oh,
so, well. Wink. No, I really enjoy Valentine's Day. Or I mean, it's less exciting than it used to be, just as all holidays are. Being an adult, it's a lot of the money and stuff comes into play nowadays. But as a kid, I really loved Valentine's Day. I always had a crush. I always made a big point of making something or buying something, or like in elementary school, they you had to give out cards to everybody in class in Clark County. Like, it was the rule.
Aww.
So you would just get those big stack of cards that were made for like kids to pass out. So you just write everybody's name in the class. But they had little heart stickers that you'd get to seal them. And I'd put 2 stickers if I liked the girl in class, I put 2 stickers on there. I was so sure this was gonna be read as what it was meant for.
You're like, I got 2 stickers.
Yeah, I was.
Did anybody else get 2 stickers?
Nobody ever came to me being like, "Hey, 2 stickers." Nothing. Never worked. I did it year after year, thinking somebody would
Why
get
are
the
people
hint.
reading my sign?
So 2 sticker girl, if you're out there, Buck is still waiting for you.
Yeah, so that never worked. But as I got older, it was a bigger thing. I put more effort into it, that sort of thing. But yeah, I like Valentine's Day. I'm excited to, like I said, this is the first year in a new relationship. So I am excited to come up with something really nice because I know that it's something that matters to her. But I agree, I don't wait for Valentine's Day to do those things. I do think a lot of people kind of use it as a crutch. I'll just wait till Valentine's Day.
Does it have to be like you kind of touched on that? I don't know if we're getting into it already, but what we wanted to talk about primarily today, does the financial aspect of it play a factor in what you're doing for it?
I mean, it does, because I gotta pay for whatever it is that I decide to do. But when it comes to showing love and affection, no, that's not a limiter. If I don't have enough money, then I guess I'm not doing that one particular thing the big thing. But there's a million other things that don't require a bunch of money that I still can do and will do, whether it's Valentine's Day or not. That's the difference. I feel like you shouldn't just be like, oh, but I got no money, so you can get some paper and some crayons and make a card, and even if you're 30, I'm sure she'll be like, wow, you spent all day coloring to make a big ass card for me. Like that, I would still, depending on who you're with. Some people would be like, you make some crayons, fucking. But if you're with somebody and it's real, I think that they will appreciate the effort that it really took for you to make a big ass card with a bunch of crayons. Yeah, so I don't know.
Chocolate.
Very much it's seen as a holiday for women. You're a woman. What do you think?
First of all, I believe you can take care of your man on Valentine's Day too.
I know. I'm just saying that the public thought of it, societal thought of Valentine's Day is that it's for you, because you can kind of get him whatever. Where there is some women that are like, if I don't get a diamond, then it's not worth it. He's not saying what you have to get him on Valentine's Day.
No, like, I've never made a request for Valentine's Day. Like, usually, I would get with my partner and be like, hey, what are we doing this year? And we'll, like, figure it out. And, like, I haven't really done, like, Valentine's Day since 2 years ago. Last year, I really just played video games.
Yeah, me too.
But,
I cried a lot.
Oh, God. He's just laughing.
I was crying.
Oh, no.
I feel like didn't you call me and tell me to get my shit together around Valentine's Day last year?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
This year my
keep talking. I'm gonna get the pizza.
I'm done.
I got a text that says I arrive, and I'm like, okay.
When and where? Like, but yeah, this Valentine's Day for me. Yes.
Okay. I just muted myself. You guys keep going.
He's gonna go get.
I'm gonna limbo. We're leaving all this in.
So much professionalism right here. So welcome to Cheyenne Centric. But yeah, so this year for Valentine's Day, my partner and I might have to work. He just started.
On the day?
Yeah.
It's close to the weekend, no?
Yeah. But he just started new jobs. I may be starting a new job soon.
Ooh la la.
And new jobs you can't really take off.
Yeah.
So, I was talking to him about it earlier today, and I think he was afraid I was going to be upset that we might not be able to celebrate on the day. Yeah. And I'm like, first of all, like, you're working. It's not like you just don't want to celebrate. Like, yeah. So it's perfectly fine. We're gonna stock up on like discount candy on Saturday, and then like go to dinner on Sunday. We're gonna finagle it. Make it work. So it's going to be Valentine's Day weekend.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to cry because it's not the 14th.
Candy's going to be so much cheaper.
Yeah.
The flowers are like so much cheaper.
The restaurant won't be packed.
Yes.
This is my dog Snickers.
I I was telling one of my friends that I think if I can, once I find the right partner, we'll celebrate holidays like right after they happen. Because right after Thanksgiving, the turkey is so much cheaper. It's such a cheap thing to do, but
Celebrate the day
yeah.
after. I don't know why. I always think like celebrating the next day always reminds me of like when people talk about side chicks. They'd be like, side chick Christmas is December 26th. So when I was like, me and my boyfriend have to celebrate Valentine's Day that weekend, I was like, ooh.
Side chick Valentine's Day.
I'm like, no, it's fine. This is fine. But yeah, like a lot of people do put a lot of importance on it being on the exact day. And honestly, if this was like years ago, I would too.
But I think there's still cute stuff you could do. Like, if maybe he goes to work at like 2 and you go to work at 11, meet up for like a quick coffee or like get a pastry and surprise the other person.
Yeah.
Just like, really tiny shit, but...
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, he could be working, like, a double. So it would literally be from, like, 10 in the morning to midnight.
Ooh la la.
Or a triple. I don't know what to call that. That's...
Side chick
But that's why I'm,
Day.
like... But that's why I'm, like, it's fine, because, like, that's your schedule. That's what you do. And I'm not going to be mad at him for working. Like... It's one Valentine's Day. We plan to spend many more together.
And it's one day out of so many more.
Facts. So
many more.
Yeah, and if I get a humongous teddy bear out of it, hint, double hint,
There we go.
cough, cough.
Wow.
Then that just makes it all the better.
Yes.
Yes. But yes. So we're talking about the importance of celebrating on the day, as my partner will be working that day, and if I get the new job that I want, I will also be working that day.
Oh.
So
what day does it fall on this year?
Friday.
Okay.
So we were discussing the fact that I'll be that we'll be like kind of finagling the way that we celebrate around the day. Like we'll probably do something on the day and then something else Saturday, something else Sunday, and just kind of break it up over the weekend instead of it being one full day.
Okay.
And like a couple of years ago, Cheyenne would have been very upset about that because the actual day matters. And like I mentioned before, like people talk about like, oh, side chick Christmas is December 26th. Like but yeah, I think as you get older, you kind of mature and you're just like, you realize life happens. Yeah. Things don't have to happen on the actual day of. Like last year, my birthday's August 14th. I celebrated on the 17th because that was the day all my friends were free. And it was still my birthday. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I was telling Cheyenne it's actually cheaper to celebrate after.
Yeah, because you can get chocolates and shit on
everything's
sale.
Discount.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's a Friday, then that's great. I haven't looked it up yet, but it's good that it's a Friday. Me and Taryn, we work really close together, so it'll just be a matter of getting off work and going out to dinner, going wherever, and then we can spend the weekend together doing stuff.
I feel that.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm still not entirely sure what it is that I'm gonna do, but I feel like that'll be the major, Yeah. I'm glad to work nearby so that we can, and we both work 9 to 5, so it's just a matter of getting off work and going,
I'll be happy, honestly, doing anything this year. Like I said, last year I played video games. The year before that, I had to fly out to Vegas.
Okay.
I get to stay home, and my boyfriend lives a couple blocks down. Like I'm on my real grown woman right now. I'm satisfied. Like,
but speaking of, we spoke about finances, but we're gonna continue speaking about finances. It's time for plugs. So, as you guys know, Bantucentric is on YouTube now. So you're watching us, or you might be listening to the dog scratching at the door and not know where that's coming from. If you go on YouTube, you can see us. So that's one thing, is that if you didn't know that our show has transitioned over, we're on YouTube now. if you're on YouTube and you didn't know that you could go to work and not have to wait for YouTube, you know, and leave it like in your pocket so that it doesn't turn off the screen, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go wherever you get your podcasts, and we have a podcast version of the same show. And there's a whole back catalog. We have a lot of new listeners now. Back catalog of episodes. This is what, 70, you know, this is like 83 or something like that. Mm-hmm. We've got quite a few episodes. Most of those in season 1 aren't available on YouTube, so go check those out elsewhere. Also, please let us know what were your Valentine's Day plans. What did you do this year? You know, did he or she enjoy what you put together? Let us know. Tweet at us at Bantucentric, or you can send an email to bantucentric@gmail.com. You can also donate to the podcast. We got Patreon now. So what you're seeing now is just part of the content that we create. We've got extra shows coming out. Bantu Cinema is the only one that we're revealing right now. Definite episodes of that are up right now for you to go and watch. $5 tier, you get Bantu Cinema. $10 tier, you get commentary tracks. And on from there is just more amazing content. So please go check those out.
Ching, 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 ching.
Yes. Any plugs, Cheyenne?
Per usual, I'm a photographer. If you have any events coming up, or you simply just want to feel pretty and you have a location that you want to shoot photos in, I've done album covers, birthday parties, sporting events, all types of situations. So if you need a photographer for anything, feel free to email me at CheyenneFinch@gmail.com. My rates are pretty affordable, so I'm willing to work with you. Let me know how long you're trying to do it, what your budget is, and we can talk.
Yes, I also have a plug. I do freelance writing, so if you guys are looking for someone to do drafting in particular, please let me know. You can go to buckrivers.com and see all of my samples of my writing. Basically, what I try to do primarily is a drafting service. So if you got an outline for a story that you already kind of understand what you want to happen in it, let me know. Sign a contract real quick, pay me, and I will be able to draft up your rough draft. I feel like the rough draft is usually the hardest part to get produced properly, you know, and so you'll have a really good foundation to work from, and it's yours. It's ghostwriting, so it's in your name. You can edit it as much as you want and really make it your own from there, but you'll have a good foundation to start with. So yeah, go to buckrivers.com to see the samples for that. So hey Z, you got some plugs?
I'm gonna plug myself. Private chef services. I do meal preps. I do meal planning. I do delivery. I do grocery shopping. I do cooking lessons. I chill in your house. I cook for you. Hit me up for your birthdays, private dinners. I know Valentine's Day just passed.
Yeah. It's too late,
if your
guys.
partner was happy or not happy, still provide services. I've done funerals as well. If you lose someone you love. But yeah, all right. Let's eat. Yeah, you could find me at Instagram on Instagram at Z from Africa, and you could email me at z.fromafrica@gmail.com.
All right, great. That wasn't a great fade, but that's what it was here on Bantucentric. So it is time for the Bantu of the day.
It would been really funny if you hit the wrong button.
No, I never hit the wrong button.
Start playing the theme song.
Then we'd be stuck listening to it. Today's Bantu of the Day is none other than the 1-2 podcast. Now, this is a group of 5 Bantus that do a very, I'm not going to say it's a similar show. Their show is great, but they're black people, they're podcasters, and we'd like to shout them out today. So reading just directly from their iTunes. Born out of the depths of a vibrant and tenacious group chat, the 1-2 podcast started out as merely a place for people to share their opinions on football and sports in general, but quickly became a home for discussions about life, relationships, careers, money, and pretty much anything else that gets talked about amongst friends nowadays. But now, for the first time ever, we're opening up the forum to you guys to share and engage in the things we love and hate to talk about in our world. From La Liga to lads' holidays and everything in between, this is the 1-2 podcast. So these are a great group of guys. I really enjoy their episodes, and we wanted to kind of give you guys a shout out because, you know, fellow podcasters, fellow Bantus.
Loving that pretty much everything else line. It's
I
almost.
wonder where you guys got that one
familiar.
from. You guys are, what, 33 episodes? So I wonder where you got it. But we would love to work with you guys at some point in time. And we would like to thank you for all that you do. And we want to thank you for being Bantu.
You could have been anything, but you chose us. And we appreciate your business.
Yes. And speaking of business, you can't run a business if you ain't got any money. And if you don't have any money, you probably don't have a girl.
What?
Wow.
Z, you want to talk about
We're both over here like, Jesus. Okay, so for all of you that didn't click out because you weren't triggered,
I'm just going to say right now, I have very little money. I do have a girl. She's very gracious to helping me get my shit together. I'm not a deadbeat. I ain't one of them niggas. I'm working. I'm doing as much as I'm able to. I'm just a tax bracket below at this point.
I have very little money and I don't have a girl, so I guess that the theory has panned out.
But that's what we're talking about today. So finances and relationships. What, especially around this time, we already talked about, the importance or lack thereof of spending a lot of money when it comes to Valentine's Day. But in that, in relationships, that sort of thing, it is kind of believed that specifically on the man's side, typically, if you don't have money, then you don't have a girl, What do you guys think about that as a stereotype? Is that a rightful way of thinking? What do you think?
From listening to older generations, I've always been taught that as a man, you shouldn't take on a girlfriend if you can't afford one. Okay. You shouldn't take on a wife if you can't afford one. Like, don't pull a girl into your space and then be like, oh, we can't do nothing because, I ain't got no money. Okay. And that's just the way that I was raised. Personally, my views are a little different. I believe in dating somebody as long as it looks like they are working to get somewhere.
Yeah.
If you're like, I have no money and I sit on the couch and I do nothing and I have no aspirations of any kind and this was not going to change for the foreseeable future, I'm probably not going to take shit.
I feel that.
But if it's like, this is where I'm at right now, but these are my plans, these are the moves that I have in place to get further, and this is not going to be forever, this isn't even going to be long term. Then it's like, okay, I can rock with you and we can get through this. Because honestly, even in relationships, you can get with somebody that is at a strong starting point. You'd be like, I have it all together and I'm ready. And then while you're together, something happens, somebody loses their job or there's some kind of financial crisis. And now you've hit a fall point and you can't just dip. You can't be like, oh, the money's gone?
Yeah.
You can't do that. So you have to know how to be there in the hard times and know that those hard times are temporary. So, like I said, as long as a person looks like they're working towards something, then that's fine with me because I don't have it all together either. And the fact that that pressure isn't really put on women as much as it is on men because the society norm is that the man is the provider. Yeah. So it's no one's looking at my finances and it's you can't have a man. You're broke. Nobody's doing that to me. And that's kind of unfair. It's basically saying I can have a man whenever I want, no matter my financial status because I'm a woman. And that's just...
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing is that, having conversations with my girlfriend, it's been lately I've been less able to do the extra stuff, neither of us are in a place where we don't have anything, but it's just taking out to dinner all the time. The stuff that I'd like to do, I just don't really have the money to do that. I like to do a lot, and lately it's just, I'm mainly surviving these days, but it's not as if it's just every single meal I'm just looking to her. But when it does come to that, a lot of times I get kind of apprehensive and it's just oh, you don't have to do that, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, when I don't have any, you help me out. There have been plenty of times in the time that we've been together where she had to get something for her home or something like that, you know, or pay somebody back for something, or a family member needed some money, or, you know, and it's like, yeah, I can grab that Uber, it's fine, you know, that sort of thing. So there's always that give and take, and yeah, I think so. What do you think, C?
I'm in a different state of mind, because coming from where I came from, it's like the same belief, like if you can't afford a woman, like, don't get a woman. But what that results in is, like, you end up finding these men who are abusive, and women end up getting stuck in these situations because they don't know how to fend for themselves. Like, I have to settle and listen to whatever the guy does, because he's the breadwinner, and if he decides to up and leave, we don't have shit. So I feel like each person should carry their own weight. Each person should carry their own weight, and if I want to do something for you, I should do it out of, like, the kindness of my heart. And if I want to be with someone, I should be with someone because of love, but not finances. And it's tough because you need finances to live, but if we could find middle ground where we separate love and finances, because I mean, like, looking at it, exactly what you said, the phrase that, oh, what about women and stuff? So if, like, you're not able to work, you should not, if you're not able to reach a certain tax bracket, it shouldn't deny you the love of your life.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah. What do you think, just to clarify, what do you think specifically about, you know, just the decision and agreement to work together in all things, you know, not that you're able to necessarily just sustain yourself, but just as I live with some roommates, if me and my girlfriend moved in together, we would both be depending on one another financially in a way that we could not sustain on our own. That nobody is the breadwinner. It's just we're a partnership.
That's what I believe in. Yeah. I support that, because you end up it becomes a partnership. Yeah, and that's what it should be.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think honestly, like, I think I mentioned in a previous episode, I heard about this couple. Apparently, like, the woman made more money than the man, and they had a perfectly healthy relationship. And though she did handle a lot of the finances, it wasn't an issue between them, the fact that she made more money than he did. Yeah. And I think that's because when you put the effort forward to make your relationship work, it doesn't always have to come down to money. Yeah. Like I said before, like, you can have like, you can spend $2 on a bouquet of flowers at the corner store just to surprise your girl and make her day. It really takes nothing. And the thing is, like, when people are always like, women are so complicated. We're really not. Like, literally, like, day is made off the smallest things. And it's just about your partner putting in that effort to show that they care, that they're thinking of you, that they want to make you happy. If you just sit around and you're like, I ain't got no money, we can't do nothing, and that's that, and you just sit there, it's like, why are we here? Like, what are we doing?
What are you trying to contribute to this in any way?
Yeah, it's like, you have to put in the effort. And I always make a point of saying I don't measure love with my partner. Like, what I do for you, I do for you, and what you do for me, you do for me. And there is no, you did this, so I'll do this. Growing up, my family kind of has, like, very traditional views, and there was a time when someone told me, never do more for a man than he does for you. For every 2 things he does for you, you do 1. And
that's a lot of math you gotta do forever.
Exactly. I thought like that for a very short period of time because it was the most stressful way to think. Because I was like,
to 20, you were like, wait a second.
I was like, okay, he's
That's too
I
much
was
math.
like, he's called me first twice. Now I can call him once.
Yeah.
He's texted me first twice. Now I can text him first. Okay, he took care of that. But, like, if he needs to do it one more time before I can do it. So I'm waiting on him to do it again so that I can then. It was just way too much. Like. And it doesn't
stamp a card every time. Like
a reward point. Like,
you got 2. Here's a free one.
You've earned 1 call from your girlfriend. Like, it just felt like a lot to measure love that way. And then I remember one time in my last relationship, my ex told me he felt like he was spending like more money in the relationship than I was. And he felt like he wanted things to be 50-50. He didn't like that it felt unbalanced. And I was like, so? Like to me it didn't matter, because I knew one day I would do something else that would counteract. Like it would be back and forth. Things are not always going to be on a level playing field. Sometimes I'll do more, sometimes you'll do more. Like the tosses back and forth.
He shouldn't do something for you because he's expecting to get something else.
Exactly. Like don't look at me like I'm waiting on my 50.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like it should be 50-50 in mentality. That you intend to do as much for them as they're doing for you.
Yeah,
which
it's
means
give and take.
Do everything you can. They're doing everything they can, and then nobody's left out, you know? Because if it's more money today, it might be putting together a shelf tomorrow, you know? That's the thing is that, you know, and when that comes up with my girlfriend, she's always like, you do so much else, you know? So it's not a big deal. I'll buy some movie tickets this time because all of the other shit that you do, you know, it evens out regardless. If one person is feeling uneven, it's because of the relationship and shouldn't just be because one person financially isn't there yet, you know?
Yeah, like I remember one time I was like, I can't come to Vegas this month because I just don't have the money. And he actually got mad at me because the prior month he had come to New York.
Okay.
And I was like, but I can't afford it.
Yeah.
And he's like, the tone of the conversation was, if you really loved me, you'd figure it out. And that's
you
just
sell a kidney.
Yeah.
You borrow some money from
you
mom.
would like dip into that savings that you might need for an emergency one day. Like you would make it happen. And it's just like I had to get to a point where I was just firm on saying no when I didn't have it, and it's like I'm not gonna like let you guilt me into this. And it's just like that's why I'm so hell-bent on I'm never gonna measure my love with somebody. What I do for you is because I want to do it for you. What you do for me is because you want to do it for me. We're not gonna sit here and talk about how much you've done and how much I've done and how like maybe one person needs to fall back because the other hasn't done enough. Like that's stressful, and it's like, what's the point of even being here? Like I don't need to be in a relationship if that's what we're doing. I would much more prefer to take care of myself than to sit here and count pennies with you. Like that's not fun whatsoever.
No. Yeah, I feel like in particular, when it comes to Black relationships, when it comes to Bantu relationships, what do you guys think about that? Because I don't know, it's often thought of in a more serious manner in our community, you know, as far as the finances, but then also there's kind of this idea that Black men are just looking for a woman that's going to take care of them and that they're not trying to get anywhere, you know. In your experience, have you been a Black man? In your experience, have you come across a lot of Black men that are doing that just frivolously? Can we, I don't have a lot of guy friends in general, but I don't have any that I know that are just like, that are in a relationship and they're just clearly not trying, you know. What is that in terms of our community?
I think it's outside of community. It's just individuals, because there's people who are takes who like have to live off of some of other people, male and female. True. And outside of our race as well. So it depends on the person who you are or the people you want to interact with in your life. So if you like someone who sits on the couch all day and expects you to go to work and come home and pick up the babies and cook dinner, and he gives you something really nice in the bedroom, and that's what you're looking for, then that's that.
Yeah, you got what you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's kind of like goes back to what I said before. I need to know that you have a plan. I need to know that you're going somewhere. Even if right now you're at a standstill. Like when I first moved to New York, I had the hardest time finding a job. I completely understand that sometimes sometimes you're just in the drought. Like sometimes things just fall off, but things do pick back up again. And I'm more than happy to like sit by your side and believe in your dreams and know that this is going to come to fruition
Yeah.
when it does, if I see you working on it. But if you're just sitting there like one day my rap career is gonna take off, and like,
you ain't writing nothing,
and you ain't doing nothing, like you just in the house kind of just chilling, and you got that one mixtape you made 2 years ago, and you're like, one day someone's gonna pick this up. Especially with like the tech we have today, just specifically talking about like if somebody was like pursuing something like that, or like anything in like media, or just honestly anything today. There's so many ways to pursue your passion today, like through social media and internet and like YouTube and SoundClouds and Spotify's and all kinds of things. Like,
which
there's
are all places where you can find Bantucentric.
But there's so many ways you can pursue your craft.
Patreon.
You don't have to sit still and wait for somebody to find you. You don't have to sit there and be like, I hope I get picked up today.
Yeah.
Like, you can do something. You can be active. And if you're just sitting there and you're like not being active about your own like dreams or goals and nothing is moving, then I can't. Because I have my own ambitions that I'm trying to accomplish, and I need somebody to bounce off of me with that. I need a partner. I need to know that we're building together, that we're both on the same page. We understand the drive, we understand the ethic, like we understand how this works. And it doesn't even matter to me at the end of the day whose salary is larger than the others. I need to know that we're both on a path of achieving what we want, and we both have the same goals that will like align together and go on the same page. Like, we both want like marriage and kids, and we're both building careers that will like help make that happen. And like, we have to be on the same page with that, because it can't just be like I'm out here trying to work and you're just kind of sitting there like.
That's one thing that that's one thing that I really like about this relationship that I'm in now, is because especially in the very beginning, it was like, it was cool to find out that we work down the street from each other, but just the fact that we're both 9 to 5, we both do kind of corporate managerial kind of stuff, you know. It's like, you understand what I do, I understand what you do, and we're both doing it at the same time and get off at the same time, you know. It was definitely nice in that respect, because that was one thing I was worried about, you know, coming to New York and grinding, you know, trying to get my shit together, that I'd meet somebody who, you know, maybe was still in college, you know, or I'd meet somebody who, you know, worked part-time, you know, maybe stayed with their family, and so they only had to do a part-time job or something like that, and weren't doing other things to the point where they were just kind of home all day being like, oh, I never see you, why aren't you ever over? And it's like, it's because I work from 9 to 5 days a week. Like, I can't afford to survive if I don't do so. And that was a worry for me, you know, because even in college it was like that, you know. At some point, somebody that doesn't give a shit about their classes and you're dating them, it's just like, why are you always there? I'm doing homework, like, I'm trying to get this degree, well, why don't you come over, why aren't you? And it's just somebody that's just stagnant, and you are trying to go, you know. But one question I did want to ask you guys: if you had all the money that you needed, and then some. You could fully take care of somebody, fully take care of some kids, whatever. And you were with somebody who wanted to be like a painter, you know? That doesn't make a lot of money, but they're developing their craft. That's truly what they love, and every day they are dedicating time to it. Would you be okay supporting them fully in that, because you know that this is what their true aspiration as a person is this thing that really doesn't make a lot of money, or if any?
100%. Like, if I'm pursuing someone, it's because there's something that I like within that person, and as long as if you're passionate about something, there's a fire within you that's burning. Who am I to deny you that? And if I can afford to give you that platform, or to give you that luxury, why not? It's just love.
Yes and no.
Gold digger, guys. She's a gold digger. No, I'm kidding. I ain't saying she's a gold digger. But she... But from what I've known after 12 years of knowing this person, that she ain't messing with no punk niggas.
That's a long lyric.
But that's what the song says. So just, you know.
Not necessarily. Okay, listen. Hear me out. younger me would have happily been with like the painter guy.
Okay.
Like, honestly,
Cool
there's
emo
not.
painter.
No, I'm not sitting up here like, I'm not going to be one of those women that's going to bash you for choosing a path that might not make as much money. Do what your heart desires, what you love, all of that. It's the same concept I have about like, if a guy doesn't want kids, cool, you don't have to have kids, but you also don't have to date me. Like, it's a compatibility thing for me. Okay. I know my taste. I know what I like. I know like the kind of life that I want to live. Okay. And in order for me to make that happen, first of all, I'm more than willing to make that happen by myself. But if I don't have to, then that's just lovely. Like, it's kind of like ShareSex. She's I think she's the one that said like her mother was like, you should marry a rich man. She was like, I am a rich man. Like, she's like, men are like dessert. They're like chocolate
I'm a rich
cake.
man.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Like, I guess I just have this idea in my head of like the kind of life that I want to live one day. Yeah. And I don't want to look up and find I can't have that life because I chose to settle down with someone who's like
finger paint. I changed it to finger paint.
But what if you're able to give yourself that life? Yeah. And then that's just the plus on the side.
You won the lottery. Yeah. You've got 15 corporations that all make money on their own, and you have to
they sure. He can stay in and paint all day. Whatever. Okay. We're covered. Like,
that's what I mean.
Yeah. Like,
you're able to cover the necessities, but you're still 100% taking care of a grown man, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, it's important to me that somebody loves me the way that I need to be loved. I've been loved in, like, ways that weren't the healthiest, and I've like once you've been in different situations where it's like, this is not good for me, this is not healthy, and then you find somebody that loves you the way that you need to be loved, like that's what's so important to me, and that's what I'm just like recently realizing in my relationship now. It's like I didn't realize the things that were important to me. Like it's just, there's just certain things like we overlook. We say, oh, I don't really need it, because you make sacrifices to be with somebody. And then when you meet somebody that actually gives you what you need and you don't have to sacrifice, like you don't have to like bite your tongue, you can actually say how you feel and like all of that, you realize how important that is. If I hit the lottery, I'm going to do what I want to do regardless of what the salary is. Yeah. Like, I'm sitting here and do Bantucentric all day until it starts paying. Honestly. Like, it's...
You better have better equipment, too.
Like, I won't be pressed for cash because... Right. Like,
no, red cameras are like the most expensive film cameras. Like, no demand. Don't get red cameras. That's just...
But, like, I won't be pressed to do something for a salary. Yeah. I can do what I want to do. And if I find... And if I find a man whose passion is finger painting and, like, listen, you can do that? Sure. Like... And it's like, and we have a good relationship. We're compatible. We want the same things. And that financial aspect is handled. Yeah, that's cool. The dream. Like, we can both sit in here, do what we love, not really worry about who's paying us to do what, and just live our best lives, loving each other in the most healthy of, like, the healthiest of ways. Yeah. But if I don't hit the lottery, and me and this person are trying to build up together, and I'm trying to create the life that I want to live, and I'm finding that they're not really focused on making money. They're more focused on just finger painting all day. Yeah. Then I'm going to be a little frustrated because, like I said, I know me. I know what I want. Yeah. I know the life that I aspire to have. And I don't want to give up what I want. Yeah. Because I'm with someone who isn't concerned about money. Yeah. And it's a compatibility issue. I'm not saying anything is wrong with the finger painter. He is perfectly compatible for somebody else. He's just not compatible for me. Yeah. I like to know that my finances are taken care of. I like to know that I'm handled. All my bills are paid. Like, when I have kids, my kids are taken care of. Like, I like to know where the next paycheck is coming from. I like to know I have a savings. I like to know things are handled. Things are taken care of. That whole, like, floaty artistic phase, I'm coming out of that. So I need to know things are taken care of.
I feel it.
And finger painter guy can go date somebody who's still in the artistic floater phase.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I feel that, because that's the thing is it's like same here, that it's like, I don't know. At the same time, I was raised in a very traditional kind of manner, and I'm a guy, so if the idea of fully taking care of a woman it doesn't bother me, you know, because that's as expected kind of thing, is that it's supposed to be, that she does nothing. But I don't know, like that part doesn't feel like a problem. But at the same time, yeah, if we both were struggling and we're not where we're trying to go, because when it comes down to it, I really like the partnership side, and I didn't have that in past relationships, and I didn't know I was missing that, you know, in the sense of, you know, we're renting a movie and it's like $4 and I'm about to do it on Amazon. She's like, oh, I'll pay you back, and I'm like, I don't care, like it's $4, and next week you'll buy me something worth $4, you know,
right.
or I'll buy you something worth, you know, that happens all the time. We were doing that where she owed me $30 for something that I got, and then we went to the movies, and all of the snacks that we got, and the ticket like came out to $30, and I paid for it, and she was like, oh, I still owe you $30, and I was like, I should have just had you buy the snacks, because that would have been the $30, and then we would have just been square. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, because we both spent $30 on something that both of us did, and so it, you know, at the end of the day, my money's your money, you know, every penny that I get, she has access to, so I don't care, I don't think about it like that, you know, everything I am is hers, so you just do what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I think we kind of covered all the spots.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like no one should be obligated to take care of someone else.
No.
No
Unless
one
you're a
should-
parent.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be obligated to take care of that kid.
Like, just because it's your man.
Zisa.
Bantucentric,
Yeah. You know.
Hey,
Just
baby
because
mama,
it's your man,
she told
like-
me I don't have to take care of anybody. It's like, wait.
Yeah, I feel like just because it's your man, he doesn't have to pay for everything all the time. And if you want certain luxuries in your life, go out there and get them yourself.
Yeah.
And if you get it, you get it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like nobody was put on this earth to take care of someone else. And if you want to do it out of the kindness of your heart, you do it. Like, there's women who every month they know, like, they want to get their nails done, they want to get their hair done, and they expect to get that money from the dude. Right, I'm like...
And I don't expect that from my man. If it's a routine, I provide it myself. Because if you fall off...
Hello?
Now I look like
hell. I'm not playing that game.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's people who... Like, it's really interesting because there's people who are raised back home, like in the South, where the man does, like, most of the breadwinning.
Yeah.
The woman will expect, like, oh, I want you to do this. I want, like, every month I want to get my hair done. I want to get my nails done, and daddy has to foot the bill all the time.
Yeah.
And then what happens when the dude decides he wants to up and leave? Like, so I say, like, no one is put on this earth to take care of someone else, but if they want to do it out of the kindness of their heart, let them. But be able to do it for yourself first.
Yeah.
And speaking of doing things for yourself, you know what you guys need to do for yourselves is message us at Bantucentric and on Gmail, Bantucentric@gmail.com with your questions, with your comments. Let us know what you did for Valentine's Day. Let us know where your finances are. You know, give us your social security number and your bank account.
Was it bad?
You know, give us all that financial information. You know.
I'll provide for my future so I can marry a painter.
Exactly. If you think that you're better than whoever Shy's with, send us a copy.
He's
of
been
your
on a
check.
mission this whole episode. He's been on a mission.
I can't say it for me because then
My boyfriend is amazing.
Then I'm gonna have a mission. I can't.
Let's just be real clear.
I can only say it for Shy.
I'm loyal and he's great.
But does he have money?
Wow, I don't know how to answer. Wow. Okay.
You don't have to answer. It's a joke. Don't answer the question. I don't know if he does or doesn't. It doesn't matter.
How do you tell people's business?
What's funny though is that along with you guys, we have somebody that sent in a letter, and coincidentally, their name, their legal name, as they've written here, is No Movie Money. So,
Okay.
dear Bantus, my name is ... quote, no movie money. I am a 22-year-old filmmaker from Sacramento. I'm in a very happy relationship with my boyfriend. We're coming in on 6 months now, my longest relationship so far. I can see myself spending the rest of my life with him, building companies and a family together. The problem is we're both creatives. He dreams of being a music producer, and I'm studying and practicing painting, visual arts, and I'm continuing my senior year of college this spring. I know I may be very ahead of things, but I'm big on planning and knowing where I'm going and what I have to do to be content, happy in life, especially since it is my last year before I'm out in the real world. You need some punctuation in there. I'm sorry, but that's not what this is about. Because we're young, I know we will both be chasing our dreams as hard as we can. All that led up to ask any advice about how my boyfriend and I can stay together and keep each other a priority when we both have dreams that we want to chase and not become, quote, broke artists. No movie money.
Oh, wow, that tied in lovely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Well, a lot of people tell me like that's kind of a big thing about dating young. When you like fall in love young and we're young. Like, when you're dating young, you're committed young, you're falling in love young.
Yeah.
There will be times where you guys are broke artists. Like it's a thing. Like I said, like personally, I'm not exactly rolling in cash.
You're not?
Shocking.
Where's my nail money, Shy? Look at these nails.
Are you trying to get your weave done?
Look at these nails.
You need your lace front? I'm sorry.
Look at my complexion.
Nah, but like right now I'm focused on like building a career, and I opted to take a job that it's not full time, so I'm not getting like that full time check that I could be getting, so that I have more time to work on my personal career, freelancing on the side. It gives me more days in the week where I can do my own thing, and it also helped while I was still in school. So yeah, I don't have a lot of money, and this is really the broke artist phase of your life. If there is a time to forfeit money to make your career happen, this is the time to do it. And when you are young and you're in love, you have to understand that. And that's why a lot of people say this is a frustrating time to fall in love.
It is.
Because then you'll be with your partner, you're looking at your partner, especially if you're like, you feel the man should provide and all that. But like, suppose like they're also going through the same phase. But that's when you compromise and you work together and you create like date ideas that aren't expensive. It's not a crime to stay home.
We walk down the street to the grocery store constantly, make a nice dinner, you know, some rice and some chicken, and sit down in front of the TV. Like,
Put popcorn in the microwave.
It doesn't have to be a big thing because there are just
candles.
And it's not every day, and it's not forever. There are just some times where you're just a little more broke. Like I said about taking care of one thing where the other one's down. There are definitely times where we both down, and it's just like
Island Ferry.
I guess we're walking down the street to get something from the grocery store, getting some canned soup.
Hold hands too.
And that's why I say like effort is not expensive. $2 flowers, like
That's
you can
it.
do that. It really doesn't take much to show somebody that you care.
Yeah.
And that's why you have those couples that are like, we were down together and we kind of
Yeah.
like, we got through that hard time. And
Yeah.
look at us now. We're like,
Yeah.
we're building up. We're like, Miguel and his girl, I don't know what their past was, but they look cute. And
I have like an older aunt back home. We call them like grandparents. It's like my grandma's little sister. She's been with like her husband for ages and ages, and they came here, they struggled, they worked together, then they retired back home, and they're now eating a nice pension, and they have a very comfortable life.
It's cool.
And I asked them, like, so how do you guys, like, what do you do for romance? Like, what keeps the action going? And it wasn't like, oh, he takes me on this vacation, or he buys me these flowers. She said, like, sometimes when he wants to make me happy, he'll put a piece of candy under my pillow. And I'm like, that's cute, and it doesn't cost no money.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, do the small stuff. The real, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's important, like little things. And that's what I hope like will continue to happen, like even in old age when I'm with my partner. Like we still do little things that we remember make each other happy. Like it also like it matters when you just like listen to the person that you're with, because like take for example for Christmas, as part of my boyfriend's Christmas gift, I got him a mini food processor. It's just a little thing. Got it from my last job, but he had been talking for months about how I think like his family broke his processor, and he was without it, and he was just like kind of frustrated. And then Christmas comes around and I got it for him, and he was like, this is what they say when they're like, get you a person that listens. It's like, my girl listens. Like it's about like the little things, and it's like another person probably wouldn't have appreciated the food processor like that, but he's like, you heard me when I said this was something that frustrated me. It's like, it's little things, and like even he does little things for me as well. Like when like he listens to me and he knows what makes me happy, and he goes out of his way to make that happen. And he's like, I want to make sure that like you're happy, you're taken care of, you're this, you're that. Even things that like I don't ask for. Like I told you last night, I went to his job. He's a chef. I came in expecting a dessert. I was like, I want a dessert. I'm here for a dessert. I'm gonna eat dessert tonight. And he's like, what'd you eat all day while you were at home? And I was like, a handful of pecans and 2 lime ices, because I'm an adult.
2 lime ices.
2, because you know calories. Like, and he's like, you're getting Brussels sprouts. And the Brussels sprouts were bomb. They had like pickled like peppers and everything. Got a plantain on the side. It was bomb. But like I came for cake. But like that's what I'm saying. Like he takes care of me. He like makes sure I'm not like out here making stupid decisions. Like a handful of pecans and 2 lime ices.
I mean, my girl got me a wallet for Christmas. My wallet was falling apart. I don't remember bringing it up. What? She got me a new wallet. I'm like, great, awesome. I needed the wallet.
Like,
there was no money in there, and my mom always said that if you give somebody a wallet, it has to be money.
Wow.
And I was like, where's the money? And then she like got up digging for her purse, and I was like, I am kidding. And she's like, no, give me that wallet. She stuffed $2 in there. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I love her.
I was like, all right. But yeah, I feel it.
It's the same thing with the birthday cards. Like when you get a birthday card, you open it and you expect
there's
it to
nothing.
have, like, something.
Don't even read the cards. Just be like,
where's the money?
money.
Yeah.
Like no money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, back to no movie money. Yeah, you don't always need to have money to make each other happy.
Yeah.
If you make each other happy, you have a healthy relationship, and right now you're in that we're young and we're trying to make it phase.
Yeah.
You can
Don't worry. Don't waste your time being stressed out. I know that's coming from somebody who wastes a lot of time being stressed out. Don't do it. You're a year behind me. You know how much worrying I did in a year that you haven't lived yet? Don't do it.
He's actually gray. He dyes his
Yeah,
hair.
this is all dyed.
He's completely silver.
It's all dyed. I got wrinkles. There's like a big thing in the back where I
It's all
stretch the
makeup. It's
skin.
really good makeup.
Nah, there's just stretch. I just got a ball of skin tied up back here. So I stretched it back so it looks like it fits my face. It's just sad.
He actually looks 62.
I got jowls,
Jesus.
man, from stretch jowls. Anyway, on the note of stretch jowls, I think that's the title of this episode now. Stretch jowls.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Welcome to Stress Jowls. My name is Phil. We gotta make that. We need a T-shirt that says Stress Jowls.
We don't need a t-shirt.
And it's got like 2 jowls on either side of the title. It's like Bantucentric Stress Jowls, and it's like flop. Make the shirt. Ask for the shirt, guys. Go on Patreon and request a shirt. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening to Bantucentric. My name is Buck Rivers. You can find me at Mbaku Rivers on Instagram and on Twitter. You can find Bantucentric at Bantucentric. Please send us tweets. Please send us some emails, or go to Bantucentric.com. Go to Bantucentric.com/initiative if you'd like to join the Bantu Initiative. Also, you can go to ImagineOnlyProductions.com. or look up ImagineOnly Prod on Twitter and on Instagram. And where can you find Cheyenne Finch?
At Chey Productions. That's CHEY Productions on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find my work at cheyennefinch.com or email me at cheyennefinch@gmail.com for inquiries.
Great. And where can they find you, Z?
Z.fromAfrica on Instagram, Z.fromAfrica at Gmail for the email.
Great.
And yeah.
Great. Well, thank you for being here. It's always great to have you on board, man. Hope to see you again. Hope to see you, because it's the first time you guys are seeing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, unless there's anything else to be said,
Nope.
then as always, stay woke.
And stay Bantu.
All right, see ya.
Bye. What?
Bantucentric is brought to you by ImagineOnly Productions.